Hey, good morning, guys. Starting up the day once again in this little South Point Gym hotel. It's been good to me. We've done a lot of workouts here over the past few days of getting ready to step on stage here at the Musclemania World Championship. So starting off the day strong, just, getting warmed up, getting excited, getting some blood flowing, and getting ready to rock for a really fun day. So the plan now is to go shower up and get the tan on, do some posing practice, get some more food, and then get ready to rock. It's a morning show, so I don't have to wait too long. Let's get to it. Good morning, baby.
Good morning.
Jenny has been such a trooper throughout this entire journey. There's no amount of shout outs that I can give Jenny that fully do justice to how much she's helped and how much she's tolerated me. But we're doing some pretty cool stuff together, and so right now we're just hanging out. It's fun to have Jenny here as part of all this, and it's fun to have you guys here as part of all this too. Thank you guys for all your support. But right now what we're doing is it's about 6 a.m. We're gonna go get tanned up.
Early.
Yeah, nice and early. So I already got to the gym, got some blood flowing. I just like to do that. I like to get up and get exercise, and it just makes me feel better. And then that means also kind of get that metabolism rolling and start putting some more food in and just feeling good and just getting ready to have a really fun day. So that'll be the plan, and the plan is also to sort of bring you guys along as usual so we can share the adventure with you guys, because this is going to be our last show for a little bit, so we better enjoy it, right?
Best one yet.
That's the plan. There we go. A little more tanned up now.
This is night and day when it comes out.
I like to imagine it's like my armor. You're sprayed on titanium coating, galvanize all the hard work that you've done. So we'll let this sink in and get some more food and get ready to rock, I suppose. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do some more posing practice. Get a little zesty. All right, guys. So we are here on time / early. No, we're vlogging it up. So all pretty much ready to rock. So now we just kind of chill and wait for the show to begin, and then when the time comes, we start getting warmed up. Probably get a touch up on the tan, maybe. But all in all, just kind of enjoy the show, enjoy the ride, and go out there and do our thing as we have planned to do, as we prepared to do, and enjoy the sort of pro debut. It still feels weird to say that, but I guess technically we're competing as a pro. It's just pretty exciting stuff, but it should be a fun day. We'll keep you guys posted. Yo, what up, guys? Been chilling quite a bit today, but it's finally time to start getting warmed up, getting ready to rock for our pro physique at the end of the day. So I'm feeling good. Feel a little flat, but we just got to get that pump in, and we'll be ready to rock. I'm excited. All right, so they're running through the physique, guys. It's almost time for the pros to go up. I feel like we've dried out and tightened up about as good as it's gonna get. Maybe got these shoulders online, got them woken up a little bit, but I'm excited. They're calling my name. Let's get it. All right, guys, so a little bit of a spoiler alert. This show, one of the coolest things about it was the fact that they gave us so much time on stage. So instead of just bumping music and a whole bunch of flexing going on, I thought I'd do a little bit of commentary as well, just because this is my final show of the 2018 competitive season, and a lot of this stuff you may sort of hear reiterated and what I'm talking about in the video after. But man, this was such a fun time, this particular show, but also just the entire competitive season. I accomplished a lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish, and I even, succeeded in doing things that I thought would be really cool to do at some point in the future, but that was actually now, competing as a pro in bodybuilding, in the category of physique. That's absolutely insane, and something that I thought would be really, really cool to go pro eventually, but to achieve that this year was amazing, and it's a big step up for me in terms of my progression path, right? Because what's so fun about locking in that pro status with my win at the Musclemania California and now competing as a pro in the World Championships, that we've got that pro status officially for 24 months, which gives me some very interesting options, whether I want to compete again year after year, or what I'm kind of leaning towards right now is actually taking that full 2 years to improve and to get better. So it'll be a lot of fun, because this year has really shown me, how much progress I can make. We took the 2015 competitive season was my first one ever, and then we came back 3 years later for this, and I feel like during that 3 years we definitely made some serious gains, but honestly I feel like my focus during that 3-year period was not as sharp as it could have been, and I think that finishing off this season with my natural pro debut, kind of puts me on a path where that focus is more valuable. It's more impactful. It's more powerful for me to take the next 2 years very seriously with my training and my dieting. I mean, definitely I'm excited to eat more. I'm excited to lift some heavier weights and to really have fun with my training. It's a lot of fun to diet down and to sort of see, you know, what you've accomplished by bringing those calories down and training hard and sharpening up and letting all the definition flow through and whatnot and applying your discipline to the diet. But it is also a whole lot of fun to have a little bit more calories in your system and hit some heavy weights and feel good and feel fully recovered and feel the progression of your strength and of your of your muscle mass over the course of many years. So my plan basically is to, if I can gain 2 to 2.5 pounds of lean muscle per year and then step on stage at 185 pounds lean, like it's at the same conditioning, if not a little bit leaner, that would be amazing. And the reason why I say a little bit leaner is because I do think I can get leaner than this. I think that the combination of dieting for 6 to 7 months and doing 4 competitions during that time definitely sort of took a toll. Like I don't feel like there's any sort of irreparable damage that I've done to myself, or like it's just tough. Your body really starts to fight you after a little while, and I was able to stick to my diet and stuff like that. But in terms of I would do a competition, then I would want to take some time to recover. And that's fine, and I think that's all. I think everything that we did was the right way to do it. I feel like we presented a great physique, and I'm very happy with the work that was done and with the result that we accomplished. But I think that it would be a little bit different if I was able to just, bulk nice and lean, not get too fat for a good long while, make some serious muscle gains and really ramp up that metabolism so my body is used to consuming a whole lot of calories. And then have a dieting phase that's just a dieting phase, not peaking for competition, not recovering from competition, and then resuming the diet. Just bringing those calories down, staying sharp with it, and then bringing in a really, really serious physique to the stage. That was pretty much my ideal situation that I look forward to, whether it's 1 year or more likely 2 years down the line. But that means that we have plenty of time to make some gains now, to really enjoy the good food, enjoy the good training, and it kicks some butt. But in terms of my preparation for this show, I think that we did a pretty damn good job. Like I said, we had the Musclemania California that we had a month before this. Took a couple weeks to recover. Even had BlizzCon. We've had lots of real life stuff going on this entire year too. All really exciting things, and we still were able to come in sharp for this competition. I one of the cool things is it's always a good feeling when you like the way you look on stage, and I like the way I look on stage here. I think obviously that some room for improvement is, like I said, just getting it just a little bit leaner. Obviously, there's always that. But I look forward to bumping up my shoulders. I look forward to bumping up my back, my upper chest, all of those areas, and arms obviously too. I think a lot of the training that we were doing during the past 6-7 months of 2-a-days really helped me maintain a lot of muscle. I think that when I competed in 2015, one of the things that happened was I did a lower carbohydrate diet. I did more cardio. And I changed up the strategy for this particular dieting season where I did less cardio. I was just going for walks instead of going for, going to do runs or doing cardio at the gym. I would just go for walks, and I would train twice a day with weights. And I would also feed myself a lot more carbohydrates. It was very rare that I ever dropped below 300 grams of carbohydrates during this dieting phase. And I was maybe under 100 in 2015. So I had a lot more energy for training. I had a lot more weight training to try to help keep that muscle on my frame. And that's why I came in at 180. And I think I was honestly maybe somewhere close to that when I competed in 2015. We may have been below 180, maybe 175 or something like that. But I think that we were able to keep a lot more muscle and even be leaner than I was in 2015. So that was really, really exciting. And that's just one of those things that's so encouraging to me, is that if I'm willing to put in the work, then we can make, consistent progress over the course of many, many years. And that's really all I'm looking for, because the thing is, I love this. The reason I do this weird bodybuilding thing, the reason why I, gain weight, gain muscle mass, and then decide to eat, a lot less over the course of time and, lose a lot of body fat, try to endure the diet, go get all tanned up, oiled up, go flex on stage with a bunch of other dudes. Like, it's weird. Like, there's no way around that. That is kind of a weird thing to enjoy doing. But the reason I like it is because it's progression. The reason I like it is because I love lifting weights. And I do enjoy getting up there and sort of getting a very clear picture of, and a very clear moment where you can display your work. You have like these punctuated times where I say, at this point in my life here, after this kind of training, after this kind of dieting, this is the physique I was able to achieve. Many years down the line, you were able to improve on that. We're gonna get some excited thoughts backstage of that first posing, and we'll talk to you guys again for the second round.
Wow, how much fun was that? They gave us like what felt like 30 minutes on stage. That was amazing. It kind of let us all do our thing, and you know, everybody was, you know, playfully jostling for position, respectfully, and everybody just wanted their time on stage. But that was a blast. It was a big group, and it was a serious group, a lot of big-time competitors. I'll be surprised if I get called back, but we'll see. Either way, it's been an absolute blast. And, and this guy was killing it, dude. I've been looking at his Instagram. I was like, ooh, he's the one who's going to win this thing. So we'll take a look and see how it goes. But it was great to be up on stage with you, man, and that was a blast.
All right, now if you thought that first round of posing was a long time on stage, check this out. So the Musclemania World Championships was such a fun event once again, and I think one of the coolest things, they really took the physique pro category very seriously. You know, they ended the show with all of us, and they gave us a lot of time to have on stage, you know, with just the first round. And then, of course, this second round actually featured a big old pose down. And I feel like part of that was because there were so many athletes, and they wanted us to have fun, but also probably because it was pretty tough to judge this event with 14 people on stage, all kind of jockeying for position and bringing a whole bunch of different physiques to the stage. I'm sure the judges had their work cut out for them. And in terms of judging this competition, coming into it, I did not really have high hopes of placing near the top of this particular competition, because I knew that there is some serious competition in this particular group, and I knew, you know, in the pro category that you're going to be up against the best of the best. But once again, this is just my debut. This is just my first ever competition as a professional natural bodybuilder, which is just wild to be able to say that still. It still sort of feels, you know, almost surreal that I have sort of been able to achieve that title, but I do think that I have a lot of growing to do in order to really fill out that title, to really fill out that distinction as a pro natural bodybuilder. And once again, the fact that the pro distinction is just pretty cool to me. Honestly, in terms of my path, and in terms of the way I decide to use my time and create content and sort of structure my training and diet, nothing really changes all that much for me, honestly, because I've always been very passionate about my training. I've always been very passionate about my diet, and it's just been a natural progression to, as I learn more and as I do this for longer, I, you know, want to continue to improve, and I want to continue to succeed. And so I try to refine my technique with my training. I try to refine my technique with my diet, maybe try different techniques with those sort of things. Like I mentioned, you know, more weight training, 2-a-days, less cardio, more carbohydrates. I changed the way that I decided to do this diet compared to my last one. And I imagine that I will also treat this next bulk differently than I will treat my last bulk. I imagine that this time around, at least initially, I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on hypertrophy. I don't think I want to just dive right into a powerlifting style, because I almost did. I mean, I wasn't like super crazy strong, but I almost did adopt more of a powerlifting style to my last bulk. I wanted to lift really heavy weights. I wanted to eat a whole lot of food, you know, definitely gained a lot of body fat along the way, but it was a lot of fun, and I think I put on some serious muscle as a result. But I think that the main thing that I want to correct from my last bulk, my last post-competition, to this year, and this is something I've talked about a lot. I've told Jenny, like, Jenny, we're not gonna get too fat of this last show. So that's basically the thing. I don't want to get too fat after this last show. I think that last time in 2015, I said, wow, that was amazing. First competition season, we won. By the way, that guy right there, he was a long-time viewer. He almost left me hanging. There we go. He's a long-time viewer. And a long-time WoW player, and it was really neat to meet him. And he was like, "It's so cool. I never thought I would be competing against Bajheera, you know, on the pro natural bodybuilding stage." I was like, "Hey man, I didn't think I'd ever be here either." So it's pretty neat. But what's wild? Sorry to digress from the bulking discussion. I'm just kind of rambling as I often do in these gym videos. But it's crazy to think that you would meet a viewer, you know, and compete against a viewer on a pro natural bodybuilding stage. But then when I thought about it, I was saying this on Twitter, I was like, I actually have met and competed against viewers in all 4 competitions that I did for the year. So talk about games and gains right there, man. We're making a statement, team. We're doing a good job. So it's great to meet everybody. Awesome to compete alongside you guys, and very awesome to be able to sort of be in a community of games and gains with you guys. So that was pretty wild. Definitely thought that was worth mentioning. And congrats to him on his placement here here in a minute. Spoiler alert. But anyway, yeah, my plan this year is to not get too fat during this bulk. And I think that the first year after my competition after 2015, I was pretty undisciplined. I feel like I was pretty unstructured with my training and with my diet. I mean, I was still going after it. I mean, I always love training and I always love eating. But I think what I'm going to do this time is be a little bit more deliberate about what I'm doing. And so I think that after this competition, my plan is to definitely increase my calories. By how much, we'll find out. I'm thinking somewhere between 3,500 and 4K would be a good start. And I'm going to focus on hypertrophy during this first phase. And the reason for that is I think it's going to take some time to rebuild my strength. And I've always been a huge fan of high volume, of hypertrophy style training. And I definitely think that I can regain some strength by doing that. But I just want to get my body used to eating, processing more food, and getting some more weight moving. And just getting back in the groove that way. And for how long, I'm not sure how many months I want to focus on hypertrophy. But I mean, hypertrophy is always a fun goal for me. And I think that basically the idea behind doing the hypertrophy stuff is I do that long enough for my body to kind of recover, to get some strength back, to get some muscle mass back. Because I think the muscle mass and strength will come back fairly quickly once I get more food in my system. But then at that point, if I want to sprinkle in some power style stuff, I feel like I certainly can. I feel like that's when we can start doing those big workouts of doing like the 5 rep sets, the 3 rep sets, the 2 rep sets, the 1 rep to cap everything out. We can do stuff like that, but that'll probably be after I give myself some time to recover with hypertrophy. But the main thing is, instead of just kind of going to the gym and doing whatever and eating a whole bunch of food, I'm gonna still try to be a little bit more focused on that. And that's just to kind of keep myself rolling, keep myself in rhythm, because the truth is, like, the dieting process is tough. The competition prep is definitely challenging, and it requires discipline and whatnot, but it's also very rewarding, and I find it gives me a lot of positive structure with the way that I schedule out not only my training and dieting, but also just my life in general, my work. When we have, real life goals that we have definitely had this year, it's been really nice to have that discipline to say, okay, I'm just gonna get up early and knock this workout out, and then we can do whatever we need to do for the day. And that was good. That's what I like. And I think we're going to keep that going. And I'm also, once again, I know that we're just kind of rambling, but I am very proud of how I looked on stage. I think that we brought a really good physique, and I'm looking to improve on this, but I do, it's always a good feeling, Sometimes when you're approaching the show, you're like, oh, I don't know, man. I'm not sure if we're going to, if we got it this time, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to bring it this time, but I think we did. I think that there's always room for improvement, and I'm looking forward to making those improvements, but I am happy with how the physique turned out, with how my posing turned out for the most part. For the pose down, a lot of times you're breaking away from some of the classic physique, and by the classic physique, I mean like the classic physique poses, not the classic physique poses, right? But that's a whole different thing, which we might dabble in that, I think that classic physique is a category that I think I would enjoy. It's just a matter of whether or not I can build enough muscle. But you guys know that I like to train legs. We do some serious squats and deadlifts on the stream, and I would love to continue to try to build these legs up and maybe even show them off a little bit in the classic physique division, because I'm pro qualified to compete in physique, but I can still compete as an amateur in classic physique, which might be really, really fun, especially over the course of years, if we are able to consistently build 2.5 pounds of, the 2.5 is a little bit optimistic, but somewhere between 2.5 pounds of muscle per year, in 2 years, 5 years, we can have a lot more muscle on my frame, and that might work well with classic physique. Plus, that's different kinds of posing that I get to learn. It's a different kind of presentation that you get to do, so that could be a lot of fun. But the reason why I wanted to start with physique in 2015 is because it's just a good category for the way my body is already. I feel like the posing is a relaxed posing style. You get to do some cool stuff, but it mostly just kind of teaches you how to get ready to compete. Teaches you how to diet down, teaches you how to train, teaches you how to sort of become face-to-face with that every day, every second challenge of bringing your calories down and staying sharp with the whole the whole thing, and I've really enjoyed that. But I think it'd also be a fun progression in terms of just my general natural bodybuilding progression to maybe eventually do some other categories just to sort of get that experience, get that posing, and learn what it's like and display other parts of my physique that we don't get to do with physique. Although I really do enjoy the category, and I've had a blast with it. I definitely intend to continue to compete in physique. I just think that it would be kind of fun to do both. And there are people in this competition. The guy who ends up winning was actually, he competed in all 3 categories of bodybuilding, of classic physique, and physique. So that's pretty wild, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. But speaking of who won, we're gonna have the top 5 finishers announced right here. So the judging for this show was very interesting. It was a little bit hard for me to tell exactly what they were looking for, but everybody looked amazing, and I feel like everybody brought their own unique physique and posing style and presentation to the stage. So I do not envy the judges in terms of having to make decisions on the top 5 for this one. Once again, this show for me was icing on the cake, cherry on top of an amazing season where I qualified as a pro natural bodybuilder. So my placement in this particular show wasn't a huge concern to me. But one thing that's interesting is that Nicholas Young right here, he's a guy who has won the overall in this competition before. You know, huge Instagram following, crazy physique, got 5th place in this one. And then the 4th place winner, you know, obviously everybody here is gonna have an awesome physique, but I was very proud of my buddy here. This is the guy who has been watching my videos for a long time and has, you know, played WoW for a period of that time as well. Definitely has awesome posing, crazy physique. Great to hang out with him, and I was very, very proud of him to see him get 4th place there. And then 3rd place is another guy who also has a massive Instagram following, very popular, you know, worldwide, I believe, and is also a previous champion, ended up getting 3rd in this one. So there's definitely a bit of a shakeup in this one, right? You have previous champions who dropped a few places in this particular one, but that's the thing about it, man, is that the judging, it's always different. You know, you just got to bring your absolute best physique and see how it goes. And this guy ended up getting 2nd place, and I really don't know too much about him, but he obviously brought it to this competition. And then in terms of the absolute overall champion selection, once again, it's always tough to see what the judges are looking for, and everybody's always different, and everybody's bringing something unique to the stage. And, you know, the guy who ended up winning was the guy who competed in bodybuilding, classic physique, and pro physique. I believe his name is Steven Smiley. Ended up taking that 1st place overall up against some really serious competition, some really big guys who have had big-time success in the past, some new guys to the stage as well. So it was an awesome year at the Musclemania World Championships, and I was so grateful to be part of it. I know I rambled a lot on the commentary, but hey, you can expect plenty more of that and more gym streams and videos as we begin the bulk. Let's get it.
Well, that was an absolute blast. They gave us so much time on stage for the first judging, and then we have to do the pose down, just get the pose forever. I'll probably look like a goofball, but I was just having a blast because I know this is my first ever pro show. Just wanted to go there, get the experience, soak it in, do a good job, and then take all the positivity, all that I've learned, and apply that into a really productive off season and come back and do it again. So I'm looking forward to that, feeling good about how we did. And probably looking forward to some gains right there.
It's a fun show.
Trying to get like these big fellas right here, man. I got to get some work done.
we had some time up there, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It was a blast.
Yeah, man, you were killing it.
Great
too,
show.
bro.
I was having the time of my life. That's what it's about. Yep. And like I said, we're gonna get some gains going and do it again. Yo, what up, team? So
My winner!
back in the room after what I would call a very fun and successful first time stepping on stage as a natural pro bodybuilder. It was a wild show, and like I said backstage, it was so much fun that they gave us so much time on stage. So I was just getting after it because I knew that like going into this, I was like, this show is just icing on the cake, cherry on top. We qualified for it. We get to compete as a pro. We may as well finish strong, you know, have a good time, learn, and then of course apply, like I said backstage, once again, all that positivity, all that excitement, all of that good stuff that we experienced this year, apply that to our gains, to our off season, come back. And what I'm thinking is going to be 2 years. I got to make some gains, but you never know. Maybe that year mark will be coming around. I'm like, well, I don't know. Musclemania's coming up, Jen. Might have to diet down. So
that'll be a lot of fun whenever we decide to compete again next. But I definitely think that this season has been a lot of fun. We did our thing up on stage. We, have been dieting for about 6-7 months now.
It's been a long journey.
Gave it our full effort.
This whole season.
And I think that we have a lot of exciting stuff to show. Not only, an entire year's worth of gains and, a new best physique and lots of videos. And then, of course, culminating in this final show, stepping on stage as a pro amongst, a great group of dudes. And
that was the largest group
they
had the whole day.
It was.
14 individual people that they had to judge.
Yep.
And quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy.
So, you never know what the judges are looking for. Once again, I am not surprised by the fact that we went up on stage and just did our thing, and that was that.
Yeah.
Not surprised by that, but I am, encouraged and excited to have earned that pro status. And like I was saying on Twitter, I look very much forward to growing into that title, growing into that distinction for many years to come. But it's very cool that this year we not only got an overall title, which is my goal for the year, but also we got the pro status, which was a long-term goal that we just happened to accomplish this year. So very exciting stuff, and I'm very happy about it. So now I think the plan is to get showered up, get some food, head on home, and get back to work in the games and gains.
Babies.
But I'm feeling good. I'm very grateful to Jenny for all of your support.
I was so excited
and
for
hard
you.
work. Yeah, thank you for. Hopefully the filming turned out okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I had my elbows on something, so
Good.
it might not be as shaky this time.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It was a long time to film, so
It was.
you're having to hold the pose too, I bet.
My voice will be very loud again, yelling for him.
But yeah, huge thanks to Jenny for putting up with me dieting and doing all this competition stuff and being such a trooper. But of course, huge thanks to you guys as well. This prep has been a long one. It's been a tough one. It's been fun though, and it has definitely been successful. But it's one that I will never forget. You guys have been so encouraging and supportive on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and of course, definitely on Twitch. I know this is a YouTube vlog, but huge shout outs to all of our viewers on Twitch who tirelessly tuned into the morning streams, the evening streams, keeping me powered up, keeping that positive energy flowing. So thank you all so much for that. This success and this excitement, it's not just mine. It's Jenny's, it's yours, and it's all of our combined work together that I get to sort of embody and hopefully represent well up on stage, and then just in the continued games and gains that we're going to be doing, for the next ever, hopefully. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your support. Let's keep kicking butt together, but definitely a great year of competitive season for 2018.
Now you get to eat.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.